All right, what's up, everybody? This is Real Men Be Talking podcast. Well, everyone has a story. This is ours. This is your boy Tony. We got
This is James.
My name is BJ.
no. You can't say James, bro. You gotta
I
say
gotta say
Bishop. No, you gotta say Bishop James. Bro.
I gotta say the bishop.
You gotta say the Bishop.
You got to call yourself Bishop.
You got to.
I don't think
Nah, man. Nah, you got to. Cause we already established that last week.
I'll go with Bishop James for the night.
All right, here we go.
The effects of peer pressure.
The
Change
bishop.
his name.
What you got? Who you?
I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody.
My name's Ty
There you go.
Why?
because I said so.
All right, so last week, man, we had a great conversation about manhood and how powerful manhood is, and we thought it would be great to continue that conversation.
Specifically, fatherhood. That's what he was talking about.
All right.
Tribute to Father's Day,
Mm-hmm.
which was yesterday, as y'all know.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
again.
Happy Father's Day.
And yeah, we continue in that conversation.
We
part
continue
two.
that
We got
conversation.
real deep. For those who have not seen it, we got deep. It got heavy. So how we gonna start this one off?
Well, somebody got to tell a story. Who has a story to start the week off?
Who has a story?
Come on, man. I said mine last week, and it got real deep, so somebody else got to come with it. James always got a story. So go ahead, James. Bishop James.
Bishop James.
Yeah, gonna put me on the spot. Oh wow. I don't know. I guess for me, just my real life story is just, I've been kind of in this challenge, I guess, like a personal challenge to be my best. Sometimes I feel like I can get complacent, and one of the things that I found myself doing is just I used to wake up early, like 5:15 every morning. This was like years and years ago, and just over the years I've kind of just been hugging the pillow a little bit more than I should. So I've been pushing myself to get up earlier, to pray in the morning. And it's a stretch. It's been a stretch. The first couple of weeks I was just really, really tired. But I'm realizing that the more I stretch myself, the better that I can become. So it's helping me not only at work, but it's helping me at home. Because my wife, she knows that, years ago I used to wake up earlier. I was more productive. I was happier around the house, different things. And now that I'm getting back to that, it's something that she notices, the kids notice. It's just helping me a whole lot. So just pushing myself to be my best, and that starts with me getting up earlier and just praying more and just giving my first day to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there I can just build and work off of that. So that's where I've been, man, and it's been helping me a lot.
So my question is, what actually made you say, you know what, I know you did it before, but what made you say, I got to go back doing it? Like, I know that's what you been doing. What specifically said, I got to do this? What were some of the challenges that you were facing for you to come up with I got to get back to doing this? Yeah, it made you happy, but what specifically said, I got to get back to this?
Yeah, I think it's, you see things happening around you where it's like, that probably wasn't the best decision. Maybe I wasn't using wisdom, or, things just feel chaotic, and it's like, I need to make a change. Like, something has to change, and where do I start? And I just kind of went back to what I was doing before, and I was just getting up earlier. And that's kind of where it started. It was just like, man, I don't want things to continue down this path because it's going the wrong way. So I just needed to make a change, and that was one of the first things that came to my mind to do.
That's awesome.
That's
I
good.
love it.
It's real good.
What you got, BJ? Talk to us, man.
Before we move on, I want to ask a question myself, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, man.
I would say, what are some, I guess, unintended consequences, good consequences, or negative, either way, of what you're doing, getting up earlier?
Good. So like on the workplace, one of the things is like I would get there a little bit later than some of the other managers. And even though when I get to the workplace, I'm productive, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but that still is something that can be talked about. Like, oh, I'm here before you, so what I say kind of trumps what you say. So me coming in, getting up earlier, getting there earlier before them, that just gives me the upper hand.
Give you an edge.
Yeah, I have an edge now, and I like that feeling. I can walk more in my authority. So
You're more productive now.
More productive. I know a lot more about what's going on, and then I can help even prep a little bit for the kids at home, before I leave, things like that. So it's just all the way around, just fixing it in the workplace, and then that's also affecting things at home.
I was just about to ask, how's that helping home?
So at home, like I said, it's just having a little bit more energy. I would say just having a better direction. My mindset is clear.
4 kids.
Yeah, definitely. Count them out, BJ.
4.
Count them out.
You got 4.
You got 4.
But it's we talked last week about being an example. Even though it's summertime for the kids, you don't want to be laying around all day. Let's get up, let's be productive. I always like for the kids to see daddy in action.
Yeah.
Daddy's doing this or daddy's doing that.
It makes a difference.
So they don't have an excuse. I'm not just laying around. Let's get up, let's do something. And just kind of set that example. That's the goal for me.
All right, so I got a question to piggyback off of. How do you motivate your kids to, they see you doing it, but how do you specifically motivate them to do it, what they need to do, and to get them going and being productive about their day? Because, kids, I know I got an 11-year-old, she want to be on the iPad all day, talk to her friends all day. But for you, how does that work for you to get them to be productive?
I guess I've learned that each child is different and they have a different expectation. So they have different things that they want. So if I can attach something that brings them joy or something that they like on the end of what I'm asking them to do, then they're more responsive to it. What's in it for them? Even as a child, they understand, what am I going to get out of this? On the way here today, my son was crying. He was upset because he wanted a popsicle. And, he was outside playing. I know you dehydrated. That's why you're upset. Let's drink some water. I don't want to drink any water. I want a popsicle. Okay, well, if you drink this water, I give you a popsicle.
Yeah.
Okay, give me the water.
Yeah.
So just figuring out what motivates the child, what brings them joy, and then attaching that to if it's something like a discipline or something they don't want to do, having something on the back end that they can look forward to.
I can speak to that from experience that when you attach that, it's almost an immediate change in behavior because now they know what they're working towards. And I think that works out very well for adults too. And we often forget that. We recognize a lot about deficiencies, but we don't recognize in ways that allow people to kind of build, if instead of focusing on the negative things that people are doing, focus on the positive things and you can get better results. So I think that's a true testament that I think we can all use to make sure that we motivate ourselves too. If we work towards something that we want, then we can stop focusing on doing the behaviors that are not so good.
Big facts.
That's good, man. So like we said earlier, last week we had some very real, pretty vulnerable conversation. And the mood was a little heavier, which I think was appropriate because we was talking about a real serious topic in fatherhood and things like that. So I wanted to open up just with some, we do at work, y'all probably do, icebreaker questions, fun questions that I just found. And I got a couple. We can go through however many we need. But the first one has to do, all these questions have to do with parenting, fatherhood, things like that. But something like, what did your parents make you do as a child that you didn't like at the time, but you appreciate it now?
I think that's an easy one for me. I would say eating vegetables. I hated them.
Eating vegetables.
So serious. Like, I did not like eating vegetables at all as a child, but I've grown to basically be a vegetarian at this point, where that's pretty much all I do is vegetables. was like,
I'm sorry.
talk about the
But your wife
transition.
just made this face that was so
So
Look at
it's,
that.
yeah,
Live audience reaction.
live audience reaction.
She off camera, but
I have to start
We see you.
panning cameras over here.
We see you over there.
Over here. I have to get a live,
I'm gonna have to keep my eyes on you.
facial.
Hey, she was looking down and all of a sudden she was like, what?
Man, leave it to the wife, man. Leave it to the wife.
But yeah, vegetables is one of those things that I hate it, literally hate it. I couldn't even stand the smell of it as a kid. And
I mean, growing up in
value
your house, man, shoot, all y'all had was snacks.
yeah, we had lots of
Honey buns,
Honey buns, zebra
Little
cake,
Debbie, everything.
every
fudge rounds,
flavor of
oatmeal
cereal.
pies.
every little Debbie that you
I'm
can think
talking
of.
about
was
every little Debbie you can
Every-
think of. It was
Star
in
Crunch,
that Star
everything.
Crunch. What?
that's the favorite.
grief.
Day.
honey buns.
You just pop up and go straight
Fudge
and go
rounds.
straight to the cabinet and you
Honey-
already know what to grab.
Pop tarts, every kind of Pop Tart.
Pop tarts, blueberry, strawberry.
Oh my God. So I can understand why
Half
you
of it was for the other kids, but
Yeah,
you
but
couldn't
you
help
know.
but
You
take
couldn't
it,
help.
'cause it's just right there.
Yeah, it was.
right there.
We was snack central. I
Right
still,
there.
I
It's
still
like-
go to my mom's house to this day and open the snack like
Like, what you got?
every time. It don't even matter. It don't be nothing in there now. I be like, she ain't got nothing today. Still looking though. Every time.
I used to
Never
come on like
fails.
when I used to drop Tanisha off from school.
Tanisha do too. Don't get it twisted. She in there looking in the snack thing
yeah.
too.
Oh,
I used to
yeah.
drop Tanisha off, go straight to the cat. Hey, auntie,
Yeah.
what you got?
What you got? Yeah, let me
Can I
one-
get that?
Let me get one of them honey buns.
Grab
Right
about
quick.
2 or 3 of them.
Can I warm
you
it
out
up?
the door. All right,
Warm
see
up
you
this
later.
honey bun right quick.
Them afternoon honey buns was
Ooh, let me tell you something.
You ever warm them up in the microwave?
sometimes.
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 All the
Sometimes.
time.
With a little bit of milk.
All the time.
Sometimes it's all depending on how you feel that day.
For sure.
If you're in a rush, you ain't got time for it. But if you got a little time, yeah, you'll warm it up. For me, I would have to say, cleaning up.
Ooh.
I was gonna go there.
Good one.
I
that's
I
very
really
dope.
didn't care to clean up when I was, but now, I really.
Wait, don't say now. Are you a clean freak now? What you trying to say?
you know what? I am a clean freak.
You are a clean
Like
freak.
when I get into clean mode,
All right,
I'm
your
on
wife
clean.
ain't here, so we ain't got.
I'm
no
on
live
clean
reaction
mode.
right now.
Here's the thing. My wife can't say nothing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
She can't say nothing. She ain't here. And if she was
I'ma
here,
let
she
that
would
one
have to
go.
tell the truth and say,
I'ma
you
let
know
that one
what?
go.
When he does, and I love cooking too. So, you know,
That's good.
That's a good
yeah.
one.
But cleaning, I didn't really care for cleaning when I was young.
All kind of cleaning. Cleaning your room,
Cleaning my
dishes.
room, dishes.
It don't matter.
My
You just don't want to do it.
office. I didn't. To my back
As a
then.
child,
Oh
you
yeah, I
just
didn't.
didn't
I
wanna do
didn't.
none
I
of
didn't. I didn't. I didn't care for it.
I cleaned the room. I
Except-
just didn't want to do the dishes.
except-
I didn't want to do
For at the time, I have, a girlfriend at the time come over. I'll make sure my room clean and the kitchen clean.
it. Let's talk about the rewards right there.
And
The rewards.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
won't clean
a
my
different
room, but if a
motivation.
girl over
Like
there,
if my
I'ma
girl
clean that
like at
room.
the
Girl is
time,
coming.
if my girlfriend like was coming over, then yeah. Other than that, just come in and throw that bad boy off.
Okay. What you got, Bishop?
I was gonna piggyback off of that. When we were growing up, we always had like our own bathroom. So my mom would make us clean the bathroom, and that was something
Y'all
that
all had your own bathroom?
well, my mom had her bathroom, the master bathroom.
Kids
Yeah,
had
the
that.
kids.
boys.
Kids had
Okay, I was
that.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
clean
boy.
that up. Clean
All
that
the
up,
kids
Doc.
had
I'm
their
like,
own
shoot.
Yeah, no, we didn't have it
We'll
like
get that
that.
one of these
Okay.
days.
But
Shoot.
but I understand. You want to have a good presentation, like when you have guests over, because that's usually the bathroom that the guests use.
Yeah.
And that's something that I didn't appreciate it then, probably didn't understand it, but that's important. So just keeping those kind of common areas clean, and then teaching our kids to do the same thing. So
That's a good one. I'm gonna say chores is a good one. I'm gonna say going to church during the weekday. Sunday I was cool with, but why we gotta go Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Friday night? I ain't get that.
yeah,
I didn't enjoy that.
Wait, which church are we talking about?
Oh, you know what church we talking about? We talking about the church in Taft, Victoria's
God,
Deliverance Center.
Victory Deliverance. Victory.
Oh, victory.
Victory
I
Deliverance.
forgot what Tuesday night was. One of them nights was
Oh,
Bible,
Bible
study.
study. That was
One
Bible
of them nights
study.
was a little bit of youth night. One of them
Uh-huh.
nights was probably some
I'm
type of
talking about
rehearsal.
we was in church. And
See, I didn't grow up like that. So.
Oh,
we
let's
grew up.
not forget the camp meetings.
The camp meetings, yeah.
We
I'm talking
grew up.
about the
Don't
tent,
forget, we
the
had
tent
shut-ins
meetings, shut-ins
for the whole weekend.
I'm talking
Sleeping
about
in the sanctuary, and the
Lord
sanctuary
help.
was scary.
because it was no old school
It was
church.
That sanctuary was scary. No night lights. You can't see nothing in the dark.
Nothing.
You're scared to use the bathroom.
Nothing.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
James, we did a lot of church when we was
We
at-
did a
I'm
lot of
talking
church.
about a
Sounds
lot
like
of
it.
church.
Lot
But I
of
appreciate
church.
it now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's a lot of value there.
yeah.
I think that's something that today's generation is definitely missing is being forced to be in church like how we was, because you got the opportunity to experience God at a young age and to actually see things happen. Like I can literally say I seen demons get cast out. I can say I seen drug dealers come off the streets and put their drugs at the altar and get saved. I can literally say I saw that. I witnessed that. I can witness seeing hoes that was in Taft, you know what I'm saying, crackheads, the whole nine, and they coming, they walk through that gate, you know, because our grandmother had a huge land. You ever seen it?
I saw
Taft?
pictures, yeah.
It was like what, good 3, 4, 5 acres of land.
That's a lot of
It was a
property.
lot of
I
property.
heard.
Yeah.
And she was slap dead in the
She
middle.
she owned the whole block.
She literally,
Basically,
Literally.
It's all right.
literally.
A whole block.
from street to street
Basically,
was hers.
Ruckman, from the end to the other end, that was her property.
Wow.
And then that way too.
Yeah.
And then that way.
That's all
And
right.
across the street.
And across
on
the
both
street.
sides.
Wow. That's a lot of land.
It was a lot of land.
It was
That's
a
a
lot
huge
of
playground.
when we got older, we all was like, this is a lot of property. What in the world? This is a that
I
is
ain't
a
gonna lie,
lot
that
of
it hurt me
property.
when mother sold it. It hurt me.
It hurt our feelings.
It hurt me. Because that was a place where I really wanted to see how my kids go.
Generational.
You know,
Yeah.
generational.
Passed
Because that was
Yeah, that was life.
the place to go. So when I tell you I seen it all there. I seen police officers be scared to walk on the property just to look for a drug dealer. Because, you know, growing up in Taft, you had the drug house right across the street.
Yeah.
That my stepdad that we talked about last week, he ran it. You know what I'm saying? So I seen so much. I think that's one of the
I
things
did
that
not know that.
Yeah.
I was probably too young, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's like I knew, but I didn't know. I knew he was in that area. I just didn't know where.
Yeah.
I just remember him having that Acura with the
I know
chameleon
exactly what you're
paint.
talking about.
He had the chameleon paint Acura.
Yeah, the Jeep.
And the windows was like they kind of tilted down when they rolled down. It was really dope. Like it's crazy. It was
Dope.
like, huh? It was dope.
Yeah, it was.
See what you did there.
It was dope.
You wrote that in.
See what you did. Yeah, okay. Did we get everybody? That was
Yeah.
everybody? All right, next question. What could you do as a child or a teenager, like your parents allowed you to do it, that you would not want your children to do today?
Ooh.
Times have changed. So what were you allowed to do as a child or a teenager that you would not want your children to do today? And I want you to feel a look that's coming your way again.
I'm talking about a serious.
Quick.
It's funny. It's kind of
Like
weird.
she want to know. Like I want to know this way.
This is kind of hit or miss. I do want them to be able to experience this, but more in a safety zone. We were always able to just go outside and just enjoy going outside. I wouldn't do that with.
Go down the street, go play.
And we live
Go
in
down
a
the street. Shoot,
Yeah, we
go
live
around the corner.
Around the corner. Yeah.
we live in a relatively safe neighborhood, like gated and everything. But it's like even in that, it's still too much going on in today's world to allow it to have the kind of freedom that we had when we went outside. The rules when I grew up was
When that
when the
light come
street
on,
light come on, then you need to come home. And I was never in my neighborhood. I mean, I took my bike. I rode my bike across Orlando. everywhere.
Right.
On everywhere in Orlando.
Mercy to Pine Hill.
I mean, from
On the
Pine
right.
Hills all the way over to what's the name of that area where you used to live at? You was two places ago.
Ocoee,
No, Orange Avenue. What's the name of that area?
Michigan, Orange Avenue.
Rosemont.
Yeah, what's the name of the area?
Rosemont.
No,
No, he said Orange Avenue
Orange Avenue.
2 places ago.
Yeah. You lived
That's
in an
Rosemont.
apartment. You live in an apartment complex over there. I guess this is technically 3 places ago.
To my Holly Gardens apartment.
Yeah, what's the name of that area?
That's downtown, dog.
Yeah, but it's a name.
That's
Bell something.
Belle Isle. I mean,
Belle Isle. Yeah, that's it. I used to ride my bike all the way over to Belle Isle.
That's crazy.
bro, you
Yeah.
drove that far?
That's
On my
crazy.
bicycle. Yeah. All over the place. All up OBT.
All the way. You all the way. Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
From Pine Hills to Belle Isle. All
On a
of it.
bicycle?
Bro, on a bicycle?
On a bicycle. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's cap. I'm calling cap on that one.
That's
Ain't
facts.
no way.
That's facts.
And you
bro.
got home by what?
I got home late. I got on punishment.
I'm about to say, God.
Coming in after dark.
I
Hey,
need
bro,
somebody to verify
hey.
that story. That's
I need,
crazy.
yo,
You
you
That's at
gotta
least
verify.
45 minutes
Put
on
it-
the
No,
in the
that's
chat.
not no 45 minutes on the
Yeah, it's-
bike.
it's a little bit
That's
over
a
an
couple
hour.
of hours. That gotta
I had
be like
no reference of time at all. I saw.
You have no reference
I
to
You just
time
talking about
now.
during the summer then. where
No,
you
I'm talking
just
about
going
during the
to-
school year. I rode my bike
Right after
all the
school.
time. I was always by myself. I rode everywhere by myself. I'd be like, y'all want to go around on the bicycle? No, we're going to stay in the house. All right, see y'all later. I just rode there wherever I wanted.
Hold on, wait.
That's crazy.
That's-
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying though, because I remember waking up in the mornings and just we'll eat, and then you just outside, like going outside and play, and from the porch to you in other neighborhoods that are
Yeah.
close by, but it's like you're not worried about coming back. Your
Even
parents
if my
are
kids
good.
have a cell phone, they need to be in visual.
You need to be checking in. You need to
T.Y.
send a text.
You seen T.Y.? You seen T.Y.?
Need to be in talk.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I need to see you, son.
It's too quiet.
We got cameras and everything. Do you see him? I don't see him. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go look. Oh yeah, he right outside.
I guess that's the knowing your kids at that moment. If you gotta look for that specific child.
I mean, it don't matter which one it is. It's just like if they're not in visual sight, they're
doing
gone
something.
in today's world. That's just kind of like the way we live. And
Quick.
it's kind of wild, but that's like my mom wasn't work. She was worried about me, but she wasn't worried about me being missing, because I always came home. It's just too many people going missing in today's world.
That
So
is
it's like, I need to see, where is he at? You seeing him? I'll be right back.
All right, so going on, you agree with that? That would be yours as well.
I agree with that one, and then mine would be just kind of the flip side of just being able to stay up late. I think I was the oldest, but there wasn't a lot of things that I had a lot of access to when I was growing up as a teenager. I didn't have a cell phone right away. There weren't a lot of different programs on TV. There wasn't Netflix. So things that would be like R-rated and things like that.
A lot more control.
Everything was at that point like maybe you had to do like pay-per-view or stuff like that. It wasn't just like a click and you watching something inappropriate. So I was able to stay up late at night, and I wouldn't advise that for my kids growing up. It's like, hey, you need to be in bed, sleep early, not surfing on the internet at night. So that would be my thing.
What about you, BJ?
I would just say that. Like, I had a phone probably at the age of however old you are in 6th grade.
12?
10, 11, something like that. I don't think I would want my child to have a cell phone with internet that young, just because of what you talked about, just all the stuff that's out there. I know the stuff that's available, quick access.
Yeah.
Yeah, these days is
you said a cell phone.
yeah, a cell phone. with
You had a cell phone.
in the 6th grade. That
I
Nextel
mean-
chirp I got in the 6th grade.
Oh,
internet.
Yeah, they can
And-
have. We might be able to give them one
A
of
cell
them kind
phone.
of.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll give them one of them.
now.
phones.
Okay,
They can have one of those.
Access to
They
a
can't
phone
have
with
one of
internet.
these.
Let me, yeah, access to a phone with internet, where
with
you
a,
could
with
just
an
surf
internet
the
and a
internet.
screen and all of
All
big,
that. Yeah.
nah, we good. We good.
Just
on
a straight phone for communication purposes, I'm good with. But access to the internet on your
Yeah,
mobile
we-
device.
that. All of our kids and all of our kids have tablets, but really highly regulated in the household, so they really can't. They can't get on much without us knowing what they're on.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily because it's just too much nonsense. And even watching TV, like, really there ain't nothing that I can let them do that I did as a child. Like, they can't watch TV on their own, let alone go outside. They can't even watch TV by themselves. Nah, turn that off.
They said
As
what?
soon,
What you watching?
as soon as you see something,
What you watching?
It don't even matter what it is. It could be a cartoon. It could be a real show. At least, like, when we were kids, it was more like a lot more subtle, the way that they tried to, I guess, send information out to children. It is not subtle anymore. They're like full blown in your face, and what you gonna do about it these days? Cartoons and all. We was in what movie? Lord, what movie that was? We tried to go watch.
She not here.
I think it's Strange
Buzz
New
Lightyear.
World. Was it Strange New World? We was in there trying to watch Strange New World. We were like, that seemed a little odd. Lori was like, Tyrell? I was like, 1 second, I'm looking. I'm paying attention.
Evaluating. Logic.
Logic, yeah.
Logic,
Give me a
yeah.
second. Yeah, let's go ahead. We're watching something different.
Wow.
And that's a cartoon movie.
Yeah.
It was like, it started off, it's pretty solid in the beginning. And then it just went full left real fast. 0 to 100
real quick.
real quick. It was like, boom. All right, Tyrell, let's get out of here. I was like, yeah, I agree. Let's go.
Okay. What you got, Tony?
For me, it has to be staying the night at people's house.
That's a good.
That's just like leaving the house.
That's a good.
And I mean, shoot, growing up, like my mom let me do that all the time.
Yeah.
Mom, can I go stay at my friend's house? Yup.
Yeah.
Mom, can I go over here? Yup. And I could be gone for a whole weekend and it would be
No problem.
no problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now you have different belief systems. You have like people just live a different way than you. Like back then,
They did that back then, but I
yeah,
think
you
it
did
was a
back
lot
then,
more
but
subtle.
it was subtle and it was respectful back then. Like everybody respected each other. Now it's like they have no respect. It's like this is just what it is, and boom, and whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to be, but like
We don't wear
my
clothes
daughter
like
be
that.
like, "Can I go and stay the night over here?" Nah. You can go over there for a couple of hours, but as far as stay the night or stay the weekend, nah.
So is it because you don't know the people like that?
I don't know the people like that? But here's the
Enough to
thing:
trust
my mom didn't know the people like that back then. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was, I don't know that.
It's a different level
It's
of
a
respect
different-
than
yeah,
we
it
deal
was-
with today.
Could y'all do that? Y'all was going over. I couldn't do that. I couldn't go over no.
Tyrell,
I
I
couldn't
think
go
I think
over no.
you ain't stay.
friend- The only people house I can go to was your house
Yeah.
family.
and your house.
Yes.
I literally
That's the
only houses I could
bro,
go to.
especially when I stayed
That's it.
when I stayed in Lakeland. Like growing up in Lakeland, I stayed at friends' house all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm saying? Or even when I came here, like
The-
I stayed
the
at
only-
friends' house. Like
the only
especially
house-
if they was like my friend, like Javen. You know what I'm saying? That was like my best friend at the time. Definitely was at his house all the time. A few others I was at their house all the time. But now,
Yeah, I couldn't-
like
I
I'm
couldn't do
like
that.
I
Yeah, we
it's
was-
just hard.
That
for
was
me
an
to
early
just-
block list for us.
I couldn't do that.
I
If it ain't
think-
your grandmama or your aunties, you
Yeah.
can't go.
I think for me, like I mean, I wasn't as advanced as a lot of kids my age, so I think my mom knew, like, you know, that probably wasn't too much that I was going to be getting into, you know. So it was like, oh, if he, you know, at his friend's house, he probably not getting into too many things.
Right.
But I think now with like us having access to so much social media and kids just being so much more advanced, then I would say I
You're exposed
was,
to more
you
information.
know, it's just like, I don't know what could be happening.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd rather prevent some things from happening than just expose you to all.
I mean, let's just be flat out honest about it, man. It's the access to what is out there is like it was restricted back then. Just imagine when you was I don't know if y'all used to see this stuff, but on the regular TV, you used to have a little scribble scrabble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you watching little soft porn and stuff like that, they'll have a little scribble scrabble on TV. Nah, it's just flat there in your face. And it's right there in people's home, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was so much restriction on TV and homes and all that. Now it's just so full blown out to like when you literally trying to want to send your kids around there, like you really got to go into deep prayer. You got to go into, worship. You got to do everything because the enemy is really after the kids. And I can't let my daughter stay. I can't do it no more.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
There's no lack of information today.
None.
Understanding, they don't have a lot of that, but they got plenty of information.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Yeah. All right, we got one more. Time for one more? Or y'all want to jump into the...
And we can just, I like where we at.
Go ahead.
You got one
got
more?
a question.
Okay. Question. I'm going to look into the camera this time.
Success.
I'm going to look into the camera. I'm here.
Hey man,
Conversational.
shout out to Dane Dunbar and Dunbar Marketing Consultant, man, for working with
Somebody
us.
throw his channel in the chat or something.
Yeah, man.
Or throw your own channel in the chat. So I ain't got your channel. Let me get a we all turning? Okay. Let me get a good funny one. If y'all can think of one. What's the most embarrassing thing y'all parents did to y'all or around y'all? Most embarrassing memory of y'all parent. Most embarrassing.
Of our parent or most embarrassing for us?
From your parents,
That they made
embarrassing
us
for
do.
you.
Oh,
What's the most embarrassing
Embarrassing.
thing that our parents have done? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's embarrassing to you that your parents did.
That my parents did?
Have your parents embarrassed you?
That is a really good question because I can't recall.
No embarrassing memories of your parents?
I can't.
That's rare. Your parents never showed up to the school with rollers in their hair, still in a nightgown?
I've seen that, but I don't think that's ever
That's
happened,
never happened to me.
We have more respectful parents than that.
yeah.
I think so.
I believe so.
What about you?
You never got a whooping in front of your friends or slapped in front of your friends? You got slapped in front of your friends. I know you have.
No, but I did get punched in my chest for bringing home bad grades, though.
In front of people?
Nah.
No, we talking about like
I
in
know
public.
that, but that's the only thing I can think of that when he said I got slapped. I never got that happen to
You was
me.
embarrassed by that?
I was embarrassed for bringing
Your
got
pride
punched.
was hurt.
My
Pride
pride,
was
bro.
hurt.
No,
It was your mama?
my mama hit me dead in my
Did
chest.
she hit you?
I'm talking about here. So you want to bring home bad grade? All this hard work, boom.
Okay.
Breathe.
Okay.
That must have been a common thing because I done got a few punches in the chest too. Maybe that's just how they handle the boys. Well, I can't
I guess
spank
they
you
had
no more,
no.
so you about
I
to get punched.
You know what?
I got good grades
You know what?
for the remainder of that
You
year.
know what though? That makes sense though because not a father in the house, right?
Yeah.
Because I never got punched by my mama.
I never got punched.
Man.
We got whoopings though.
We got whoopings.
We definitely got
Yeah,
whoopings.
man.
Never
I didn't
punched.
even think about that.
So
got-
I wonder if that has any connection to just them kind of trying
You
to.
have it to be tougher in the house.
Yeah,
Well,
I feel
you
like
got-
they're trying to step into a masculine
Right.
mindset. Like I'm gonna punch him in the chest.
Because he's a boy. And I'm
Correct.
trying to correct the boy.
Exactly.
Punch him in his chest.
I wonder if that. I
Man,
wonder if that
listen,
has.
all I know is I got good grades for the remainder of that year.
It worked.
It worked.
I'm
It
talking
was
about
effective.
hit right here. Here.
Sound like she has some training. Go right for the center.
Corrections, right?
Not at that time.
Oh, okay. She was
Nah,
prepping.
I was in the 6th grade. because I was at
She
Goshen
went
Middle
some martial
School.
arts.
They
It
never
was in-
came and showed y'all was on the date or nothing. Your parents never showed up
Nah, that never
Oh,
happened.
who?
I don't know.
on
My
a date
mom,
out
my
with a
mom
girl,
never.
sneaking with a girl.
These are your stories, or
I'm just nah.
Oh.
It's not my story.
No,
Do you
but,
do you have any? That's the
I
question.
But
couldn't
hold
think of
on.
nothing for myself. I couldn't.
That's a good
Does
question
it
though.
have
I
to
don't.
be the parents who did something embarrassing? Can it
Or
be
an adult, an adult.
Auntie
that you,
Bridget did something
Okay.
that was embarrassing
She
in,
does.
in front of my mom.
What she do?
Okay, give it
She
to us.
told my mama, matter of fact, you were there.
I hope Auntie is watching.
You were there.
Somebody send her the link
We
right
at
now.
Auntie Bridget house, and me and you had rode when she was staying good homes in the apartments
Beacon Hill.
on the 3rd floor. No, Beacon Hill is
You talking about
no,
Wood Hill?
no, not Wood Hill.
Wood Ridge. No, you
Right
said-
across the street from the Burger King Gators outside. Where,
Oh, Vizcaya.
yeah.
Vizcaya.
Oh,
Lake.
Vizcaya Lakes.
Okay.
Okay, so she was married.
No, she
No,
wasn't.
she wasn't married.
She wasn't married. She would know this. She was there for a long time.
Yeah, she wasn't married.
She was there for a long time.
All right,
All
what
I
she
know is it was my senior year. And me and you rode over there. We went over there, and Auntie Bridget was doing hair, and my mom was over there. And
What year was this?
my Auntie Bridget just popped out of nowhere. You know Tony having sex, right?
Oh,
To who? To your mom?
To my mom.
no.
With you right there with her?
Where me right
So you
there.
and Tyrell showed up.
And we just chilling.
I cannot recall this.
Listen,
That is-
I remember that day
Whoa.
like it was nothing because my mom didn't know that I was having sex.
So how old were you?
That's my senior year. So
Senior
I'm
year.
17, 18, 17. Yeah.
I can't imagine her
17.
saying that because she kind of like the
No. What?
she was
She was
discerning.
the
Auntie
cool
Bridget will expose anybody in a quick
We
second.
never got exposed like that. So
She
that's
li-
it.
so you know Tony having sex, right?
You must have made her mad.
No, I don't even know.
She was
Listen,
cool. She was cool. You must have made
Auntie,
her mad.
listen, Auntie Bridget is the coolest. She's literally
She was
young
our,
and fun.
She was our band parent
Uh-huh.
in my school.
But my mom cried
Mm-hmm.
because she was hurt.
That's embarrassing.
She was really hurt, and I couldn't say nothing because it was true. So my mom was like, "Are you really?" I was like, "Yeah."
You couldn't even lie.
I couldn't even lie.
She wanted to know first.
And yeah, my mom cried, and I said, "Auntie Bridget, why'd you do that?" She's like, "Well, you try to act like you all perfect, and then talk, and then she gonna look at Tori. Tori, don't act like you ain't no better
What-
because
what
I know
Tyrell
about
did?
you too." I said, "Gosh, she
What
did-
Tyrell did.
Tyrell could." I don't know if
remember this at
Tyrell probably don't remember. I remember that day because that was a day that I was like, I was hurt.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was.
hurt. I was embarrassed.
Obviously, I was in college, so I don't remember it at all.
I mean,
Matter of fact, you came home. That was my senior year, so you had came home. I think it was a weekend.
Okay.
You had came home for a weekend, and I was chilling with you that day, and we had one over there.
What year was your senior year?
05.
2006? 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think that was your what? First year of college or second year?
Third.
You graduated 04, right?
3.
03? Got you. Okay, so yeah.
What you was about
Yeah.
to say?
No, I was just gonna say because I kind of mentioned like I wasn't as advanced as a lot of people my age when I was growing up. So I remember having the conversation with my mom about like I think I'm ready to have sex, and my mom was like really caught off guard. So I'm embarrassed, and she's like, "Whoa, we having this conversation."
You
so
having conversations with
Was
moms
this
now?
was this
this
high
was
school?
like I was in high school, so
Oh,
it was
wow.
just like
See,
you
this
know,
is a separation because we definitely didn't have that conversation.
This is
Yeah.
completely it's different perspective.
So it was
Totally
like,
different.
so like when you brought that up, it brought me back to that because like it was like, okay, so what?
Did you do it
What I
before
did.
you?
No, I
said
didn't.
So you?
No, I mean,
Oh.
I hadn't had sex or anything, but it was like I
James was
just
a
felt
very
like
good kid.
I'm
I
at-
can
I'm
tell.
tell.
starting to see
At
that.
that
I'm starting to
Facts.
see that.
no, you can ask. Like
He was a
Wow.
good kid.
I remember that moment, and it was just like we've had a few moments like that of me coming
That's
to
different.
her like, hey, I don't I don't know how to navigate this. And like, she's always been there. And there's some stories we can get into with that. But I remember that day because it was like, she was like, wow, son, you know. And so it was one of those embarrassing moments, but it was a good moment. You know, we were
Wow.
able to connect there. So
Auntie Bridget gave me another embarrassing moment too. When she was staying with us in Pine Hills in the house. I was on the phone with my girlfriend at the time. This was high school.
High school.
This all happened in high school.
Wow.
Senior year.
No way.
Yes. And
See, I was in
Auntie
college.
Bridget,
I don't know what was going on.
listen, I'm on the phone.
We ain't keeping names in the podcast.
I'm on the phone, and Auntie Bridget gets on the phone, and she like, oh, so I hear you trying to talk all sexy, huh? Like just doing stuff like,
What's up, with
Auntie Bridget was, Auntie Bridget was,
gangster?
she was gangster.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the thing that went, uh-oh.
Wow.
It changed. Yeah,
okay.
Auntie Bridget was, she was with it.
She didn't care.
No. And she
I
just,
don't know that, auntie.
yeah, you wouldn't know that, Auntie, but I know that, Auntie.
What did you do to her?
Yeah, you
I
did something.
did
There's a
nothing.
story.
I
There's
did.
a
There's
story
a
there.
story.
There's a deeper
I want to
story.
know this story.
Ain't no reason she was just doing that.
I want to know this story. I really
no-
do.
ain't no
But
reason.
shout
We
out
don't
for
have
Auntie Bridget because she
we
did
love
look out for me for going, let me drive the Galant though to homecoming. So I do appreciate that.
Maybe she tried to talk to you to spare you first, and you wasn't listening. So she like, I got to talk to your mama now because you ain't listening.
You
to
ain't
me.
listening.
Auntie Bridget,
She's that
I don't
tight.
e-
I'ma
I
try to talk to you
know,
eye level
no,
first.
Man, I don't even. Auntie Bridget wasn't even staying with us at the time when.
But she knew you was having sex. So Tony,
Hey,
I need you
but
to start
listen,
having sex. All right.
Hey, she
And
never
you
came
say
to me and
nah.
told me that.
I had been. I gotta hear it.
I had
probably-
been out there.
she-
I had
she
been out there in the
probably
streets
was
for a little
more
minute.
subtle.
Maybe.
And
In
you
the
wasn't
streets
getting
for a
the
little
picture.
minute.
Tony, you know what you're doing. I need you to stop, okay? I ain't gonna say it. But you know what you're doing. And I know what you're doing. Okay, and you ain't listening.
The Lord
All
is
right.
watching.
That was the last. I mean, I got more, but let's get into last week we talked about our perspective of fatherhood, and I know we left off on how society today looks at fatherhood and manhood in general.
Hey man, look at the camera, man, and direct this. Tell
Man,
you to look at the
I
camera.
can't talk. It's hard. Am I supposed to talk? Am I supposed to talk to my people directly?
You
Am I
telling
supposed to
them, you
look to
telling
them?
them, we already know what we talked about. Tell them what we talked about.
Okay, man.
Hey, we are about to
They need
grow.
to see you.
Hey,
So
we about to
everybody
have-
can look at me, but I can't look at y'all. That's what we're saying. Y'all can look at me when y'all talking. Y'all can look at each other, but when I'm talking, I got to do this. Okay, that's what we doing.
Include the
This what we doing.
No, we
Okay,
gotta
so
do better
last
too. We
week
gotta
we
look at
talked
them.
about our own perspectives as fathers and what we learned from our experiences, whether that be some of us had fathers in the home. I grew up with a father. Tyrell grew up with two fathers, and then we had two different perspectives here. Stepfathers, no present father at the home, etc. So this week we wanted to continue that and talk
how
about
that look now? Good.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. This we want to continue and just kind of talk about why does, and this is a question for the people as well, why does culture in America, even more specifically, let's say black culture, but all culture, talk about, or why do they look at the role of a man in the house as expendable? Is not necessary, as we don't either subliminally culture is going to put down the role of a man. They're going to do whatever they can to get the man out of the house. They're going to do whatever they can to diminish the role and the authority of the man. What's y'all take on that?
Well, definitely,
Keep looking this way.
there is a. I think you got to angle yourself.
Let me look at this way.
You got to angle yourself.
What you think? Sorry.
Angle yourself a little bit. Yeah, I think that I think they definitely send messages that the man is expendable. But men, generally speaking, we see y'all they're in the household, and they are making their presence known in the household. But for whatever reason, there is an agenda
That was gonna be
to
that you said the word.
to-
What is the agenda?
to get that role almost like replaced, kind of. There's
Erased.
definitely an attack. It's kind of secret right now.
It's not no secret. It's not. It's
And
not
the
no
reason why I
secret.
say it's secret is because they haven't reached the point where they're saying it out loud. Apparently,
They've been saying it out loud. They've been saying it out loud for the past 50,
I
60,
mean,
70, 80 years.
yeah,
They've been
but not
saying it out
directly.
loud for a long time.
they're doing it indirect right now. That's what I mean.
Man, this ain't no indirect, it's direct.
I'll give you an example of what I mean by indirect versus direct. They've been indirectly sending out information on the LGBT for years,
Just
right?
say alphabet. 20% of the alphabet.
But recently, we seen the recording from
That's where we going.
we seen the recording from
I'm trying to make it
Disney.
easier.
Hey,
We seen the recording from the Disney. I don't know if it was a conference call or some type of Zoom call or something like that, where the lady says the not so secret gay agenda that we're putting in our movies. Now that goes from being subliminal to very direct.
overt.
Not so secret gay agenda. Now this is what happened in Disney World, and why a lot of the drama that we see and going on with Disney in the news is going because of that situation. And I don't think that we've reached that in the men's space, but they're definitely indirectly pushing that information, like you just said.
I think there's a subset of people,
Mhm.
aka one of them could be or is like the feminist movement,
yeah.
will overtly say it, and then there's like you're saying, television marketing.
Their way of saying it right now is toxic masculinity. That
Mhm.
includes parenthood,
Mhm.
fatherhood.
Right.
I think just recently, within the last few years, they had these what do you call it? Where you go to the school and you're a parent,
Parent-teacher
Parent-teacher.
conference,
something like that. Like not conference, but
Meetings.
progress reports.
Give it to him, Lord.
I forgot what it's called right now, but it'll come to me.
Man, you got how many kids?
Yeah, I know, right? But basically, when the parents are involved
PTA
with the
meeting.
schools and stuff like that, basically like that, and they're kind of going to these meetings trying to assess the culture at the school and what they're teaching, what they're teaching in the school, and they're calling these parents that are involved terrorists, literally.
Extremists.
Yeah, extremists.
Mhm.
Just for coming into school and asking questions like, why are you providing information about
But
sex to my 4-year-old, my 5-year-old, my
But
6-year-old?
let's do this though. But we have to go back because it's before this agenda have become what it is. We got to go back to LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, and what he did with the Great Society Act, and wanting to get the fathers out of the home and put the woman, on food stamps or government assistance. That right there was an atrocity to the black community because now the government goes to say, hey, we'll give you money, but you got to get rid. We'll give you all that you already have. You just got to get the man out of the home. You know what I'm saying? And women fell for that. Let's just be honest about it. But let's also put this in biblical perspective. What did the serpent do in the garden? Who did he go to?
Yeah,
He went to the woman first. He said, hey, what you like about that tree? Oh, God said we weren't supposed to eat it. We weren't even supposed to touch it. Oh,
You will
God didn't say
surely
that.
die.
God didn't say that. He just know that you'll become just like him. But we are already creating his image and his likeness. We are already just like our wives are already just like us. But you'll dismiss us to take on their identity, which literally diminishes the family structure and what God created. And that right there was aspiring because let's put it in this perspective too. All throughout slavery, black people were married and having kids
Yeah.
and prospering, even after slavery. We prospered, having businesses, like doing very, very well. And then by the time we get to the 60s,
Yeah.
boom, all of that is being erased over time.
Yeah.
The question is, why is that? Because they understand, I truly believe that a strong black family is an uncontrolled black family. Like you can't control a strong
I-
black
just
family.
to kind of piggyback, I think that it's not even necessarily about black, but we're the first group that we're the experimental group essentially, consistently the experimental group in all of these areas, and so we're seeing what they've done in the black community for years start to go across the board now, and I
Big
think,
time.
and I spoke on this a little bit ago about
Can
how
you
we
talk
seeing,
into the mic?
sorry about that, how we're seeing the largest group of single white females where they're single, unmarried, with children, which is really unprecedented in their community for years. It hasn't been that. It hasn't been that way for years, especially on the, I would say, on the upper echelon side. It's been in the lower income for a while, but not on the higher side. So we kind of see that transition across the board where it's not just the black family that's being attacked, but all. They're attacking all families right now. And we were just the first to experience it. We know where everything moves because we've seen it for years and years and years. They've kind of gotten away from that. Like, oh, yeah, y'all just tripping. No, we're not tripping. They're coming after you next.
Yeah, I think I heard on the pastor who was preaching on Sunday, and he was specifically speaking to getting our men out of the prison system.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is what's hurting our families too, is because, you know, for whatever reason, the man is either locked up or he's out in the streets, you know, not taking that responsibility like we talked about seriously to actually be home, to stay home, and to do the things that responsible men do. And sometimes in effort to provide for their families, you know, they take the circumstances that they're given, the cards that they're dealt, and they make certain decisions. And, you know, we can't fault them for that. But I think that plays a lot into it also.
Yeah.
Of just as men, we have to see those types of agendas, and we have to make a decision, you know, that we're going to do right by not only the women that we're with, but the children that we create, and really take a stand for the family. You know, I feel like it starts with the man. Like we always hear the story about Eve and the serpent, and, you know, there's debates on, well, what was Adam doing? You know, is he just sitting and watching? Like, there's a stand that we have to take. And we have to teach that. We have to teach that to our kids. We teach it by the example that we set. And I think that plays a lot in it too, of just, hey, we're seeing what's happening. We talk about it as men. Like, what are we going to do about it?
Exactly.
Are we going to actually step up and step in and do what we're supposed to do?
Yeah.
So what do y'all believe is the effect of the man not being in the household? Last week we talked about one thing a father is, one thing that defines fatherhood or a real father is being present.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you believe is the effect in culture today? What's real time? What is something that we're seeing today is the effect, the direct impact of the man not being present in the household, in the family?
Yeah.
I would say just respecting authority. You know, I watch a lot of these videos where, you know, you see young black men getting pulled over by police officers and there's just no respect. And it's like, why are you running? Why are you being that way? I think there's just a lack of respect. I was with a gentleman this Friday night, and he was telling a story of how his dad always worked 2 jobs. But when he got in trouble in school, his dad came home, spanked his behind, and went back to work. And he never got in trouble again. You know, there's respect. You know,
Yeah.
there's that authority. So whether you're in the house or whether you're outside of the house, you can still have that presence and teach your children respect. And I think that's what, you know, having the man in the home teaches respect. That's why our women and our moms are punching us in our chest because, hey, you need to learn some respect.
That's right.
You know, and I think that's one of the biggest things.
I agree.
I agree as well.
I think that obviously respect is that is our love language. That's how we know that people love us is when they respect us, and when they don't, we feel literally like they hate us. So if our children aren't showing respect for us, we feel like, you got a problem with me? We feel like there's a beef going there, because that is the language that we speak, respect. And I feel like just to kind of piggyback, Lee said these kids getting pulled over, especially when they get pulled over by a man who has been rooted in respect, learned about respect, and then they don't get it. Oh man, it's a bad situation, because I don't think they're trying to lash out, but they're being disrespected, and that's one of those things that is really bad for, I guess, a reaction, because most people react, not respond, and when that happens, that's what we end up seeing these videos, and it's kind of a sad thing to see, because we know that there is a combo. Obviously, you don't have to react. You can respond. Hey, man, chill out. And that's the right reaction to have. That's the response that you should give, understanding that the person that you're speaking to obviously doesn't have the respect to give to you. If they don't respect themselves, they're not going to respect you.
Yeah. And they have to see that example.
They got to see that example.
And the example that a lot of our youth are seeing right now are just from mothers, from women all day long. You know, just you got sisters, and you got your little sisters, your little brother, and you got women in the home. And this is one of the things that I'm glad my mom never did when we was growing up. She never talked bad about my dad, about my biological father not being there. She never talked bad about even my sisters and brothers' dad. She never downed them. She never did any of that. She just did what she had to do, and she never displayed too much emotion, or she never took her anger out on us because of him or because of them. And I think that's what a lot of our kids have been seeing over the years. They've been seeing their mothers hurt. So guess what? When these kids are experiencing their mother's hurt, they are going to display their mother's hurt, because that's what they see, and they believe that is what's right, because that's what they see. You know what I'm saying? And if that's all they see, oh, F you and I can't stand you. These kids our children are hearing this stuff. These are children who is hearing this on a daily basis. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when they get out in the real world, they're reacting based off what they see at home. So when they actually see, when they get out here in this world, they don't know how to respect a man, because they don't see respect at home. All they see is their mother literally just lashing out on men all day long. I don't know if you guys probably seen the picture, but there's a picture of a baby, a boy, a girl, and a mother, and there's a guy in the back walking out with his clothes, and it says, the mother says, I don't need a man, and then another one says, I don't want to be a man, or another one says this, and another one says that, and it's just that hurt feeling to know that it all starts with the hurt of what mothers experience or women experience from the hurt of a man, and that's the reason why a lot of our men now are displaying what it is that they seen at home. And I think that once we can get men to understand that you hold the true weight in the home, whether you are there or not, towards your kids, we can have a better society going forward, especially in the Black community.
Yeah.
And there is definitely another side, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Nah, go for it. We already is.
Nah, we ain't gonna go there.
I think you said it too. Just real quick, we talked about emotions and logic. So like if the young boy or young man is growing up around his mom, his
learning
natural
emotion.
reaction is going to be, I'm going to respond from my emotions.
That's right.
So like if someone's yelling at me, I'm
Yeah.
going to respond from an emotional place. So I'm going to yell back
Yep.
instead of
Well, these kids don't
thinking.
yell back these days.
They don't. Yeah, they shoot.
Right, but
don't
it's,
fight.
it's emotions. You're getting my emotions riled
Yeah,
up
yeah.
instead of me still learning, or
Their
I haven't been
emotional
taught how to be
response.
emotionally stable.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that logic comes in, that sometimes you need
You mean lack
a
of logic.
father to teach you.
Yeah.
That's good. One thing that as we wrap up, I know it's getting late, so we'll start ending here. But one thing that I heard my pastor say on Sunday was, number one, God is first a father, and the greatest thing that our heavenly Father could give us is His presence, and that translates to the role and the call, the duty of a man in this world, and specifically fathers in this world. The greatest thing that we can give society, the greatest thing that we can give our families, our wives, our children, is our presence. And that's what we can. Did I get a shondo in the background? Whoa. And that's just one thing that statement hit me.
More live audience, huh? Live
Live audience is
reaction.
good, man. That's good. That's good. So we'll end it on this, just to since we did this last week, we ended on the spiritual kind of perspective. We all men of faith. What is something that y'all want to instill in your children and or just the next generation, those that you influence, on the spiritual side? Prayer. Why? What's the importance of prayer? That's a big one. Just can't say that.
I would say
Expound.
Yeah.
I would say prayer. Prayer is a grounding place to be. It allows you to really connect on a spiritual level. I don't know if y'all understand what I mean when I say ground, but like when you think about a power without a grounding source, that power means nothing. Yeah, so you can have that. You got the black. Usually, the black is the power in your car. I'm sorry, the ground in your car, and then the red is the live wire, the power source. You can have that red one connected all you like, but if you don't have that black one connected, that your vehicle won't run. And I think that prayer does that. Prayer gives us a grounding place, and then allows us to experience the power that we can have as people, as men, as leaders, as fathers. We have to have that grounding source in order to move forward.
That's good.
I'm gonna say.
Deacon?
I'm gonna say. Get to. I mean, probably the same thing in prayer, but just get to know who God is for yourself. I could tell you about God all day and what God did for me, but know God for yourself and experience God for yourself, and don't be scared to be different from everybody else in today's generation, because everybody is trying to be like everybody else. Well, when you can build a relationship with God, God will differentiate you from everybody else. You'll be the complete opposite of what everybody else doing, and you will be the more better because you're doing it the way that God wants you to do it. And that's just by building a relationship with God, getting to know God for yourself. Because like I said, I could come to you and tell you all day about God. God did this, God to do this, woo, 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 woo. But if you don't take that time out to study, to show yourself approved, to, talk to God, and allow God to talk back to you, then you will never, ever be able to experience what it is that you're really looking for. So I would say that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I was just going to say to experience God for themselves, experience the love of God, not just a one-time thing of where okay, I'm confessing my sins and I give my life to Christ, but on a continual basis. There was a week ago where I actually was just driving home and just had a moment with God where I could feel his presence, and it overwhelmed me to where I was in tears. And like, those are the moments that I wish that my children can experience for themselves,
love those
because
moments.
you can't explain that. You can't, and no one can take that away from you. Like, no one can say that, oh, that's not real. But if I have an experience of the presence of God for myself, I can hold on to that, and that can carry me, that can ground me
Yes.
throughout whatever is going on. Even if I don't feel it every single day, I remember that moment.
Yeah.
And that's what I want for my kids, to just experience that for themselves so that they can have a love of God.
Yeah, that's good. I would probably say, I mean, you guys said it, having an encounter with God, knowing God's love, prayer. So I guess just to round it out, maybe just one of the most important things would be just to get in the book for yourself, get into the Word, get into the Scripture. Don't just be influenced by your favorite preacher. Don't just be influenced by social media people talking about, their views of God, especially when you get into these schools and teachers, professors, and all these people trying to tell you what about God is real and how God isn't real, or what culture and society might be saying about God. I mean, actually take the time and read about who God is. God reveals himself through his word. That's just one thing I would say. So that's all. I know we're
I got one more thing
Okay.
to add to that too. Also, get around people who have a relationship with God.
mhm.
Iron sharpens iron, and the Bible says when two or three are gathered, there he is. God is there. So getting around people who know God and who was willing to help you in your journey into knowing God for yourself. So that's what I would say. Add to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since we added, I'll say one more thing. Also, I would say, last thing I would say would be, it's okay to fall. It's okay to make mistakes. I know what it's like to be saved and a Christian and make mistakes all the time, fall all the time. But God is a father. God loves us, and he forgives us. And it's okay to make a mistake, fall, but don't be afraid or ashamed to go to God and ask for forgiveness and trust that God forgives you and will put you back on the right path to know him and experience him. So that would be my last thing, that God is a merciful God.
Very, very merciful.
He's not looking for perfection.
Mm-mm. He's looking for a yielded heart, one who's going to come broken.
So come just as you are.
Please come just as you are.
Just as you are.
That's right.
He's willing to mold you back into what he created you to be.
That's right.
That's just all I know.
Every man has a story. This is ours.
This is ours.
All right, Tony, take us out. That's it.
How am I taking this out?
Real men be talking.
Real man be talking.
I mean,
The outro.
The outro. All right, everybody. Listen, man, we truly appreciate you guys for joining us, man. This was such a wonderful conversation. Listen, make sure that you subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Real Man Be Talking, and then also make sure you check us out on all of our platforms. We are on Instagram,
wait.
Facebook.
what is the name of?
Real Men Be Talking at Real Men Be Talking.
Okay. Underscores? No underscores.
I think we took the underscores out.
Okay.
We took the underscores out.
We did.
We did. Okay, we took the underscores out. So at Real Man Be Talking, but you also can find us on Instagram, Instagram and Facebook. And then shout out to the sponsors of Unchained Expressions. I'm a sponsor. You know what I'm saying? And then Unchained Expressions. You know what I'm saying? And then shout out to HH Graphics and Designs, who is creating our apparel. And then also shout out to Dunbar Marketing and Consulting for making sure that we are always tight on these sessions. Listen, we truly appreciate you all. Man, this is Real Man Be Talking, where every man has a story. This is ours.
This is ours.
This is
This is
Peace.
just the beginning.